Good morning and happy Sunday. There's a power in silence that most people overlook. Not because it isn't available to us, it's actually all around us. Just got to find it through the noise. But it's because we've become so used to that noise that stillness can actually feel uncomfortable. We reach for our phones, we fill the space, we keep moving, we keep thinking, we keep doing. But some of the greatest teachers across time have all pointed to something very similar. When you sit still long enough, you begin to hear what's underneath the noise. Brian Tracy once said, "If you're trying to solve a problem, give yourself 30 minutes of doing nothing. Just sit." And somewhere in that space, once the mental static begins to settle, ideas start coming in. Solutions begin to surface. Things that felt tangled begin to loosen up. Why? Well, because when you stop feeding the overwhelm, you create space for something deeper to speak. Maybe you call it the subconscious. Maybe you call it intuition. Maybe you call it spirit. Maybe you just call it clarity. But whatever name that you give it, there's an intelligence within you that often gets drowned out by the constant pressure to react, to perform, and to push. Joseph Campbell touched upon this too. When he studied the traditional cultures of our world and the mythic wisdom, there was often this understanding that the deeper parts of us are not separate from the thinking mind, and actually not even separate from the overall universe itself. We just lose connection to them when we become too consumed by the surface of life. Silence helps us dissolve that resistance. It softens the wall between the intellectual mind and the deeper knowing that's already within you. Because the truth is, so much of what you need is already there, I should say here. But you won't always find it by forcing. Sometimes you find it by sitting, by listening, by becoming still enough for something deeper to come through. And here's the real question. What if you started your day this way? What if instead of waiting until the pain gets too great or the pressure becomes unbearable, that you made silence part of the way that you begin? I wonder what that would feel like. To start the day from clarity instead of chaos, from groundedness instead of urgency, from connection instead of reaction. Most people only give themselves silence when that pain gets too loud to ignore. But maybe silence isn't just medicine for hard times. Maybe it's also a doorway to wisdom, to steadiness, to a deeper way of kind of meeting your own life. So maybe the invitation is simple. Just sit. No phone, no input, no agenda, just silence. And just see what rises to meet you.